Hello, my name is Cindy Matalucci, and you're watching The Pulse, where we get the 411 on all the latest and greatest things to do in this amazing city, San Diego. From the newest bars and restaurants to the chicest boutiques, the gyms and the trainers that are getting the people of this city buff 365 days a year, to the place you want to go to get your spa on. I'm exploring it all for you, and of course, having fun along the way. So come with me when we put our finger on the pulse of San Diego. This episode of The Pulse was brought to you by Flax for Life, who is spreading the love with nutritious and delicious baked goods rich with flax. Their products are high in fiber, loaded with omega-3s, certified gluten-free, nut-free, dairy-free, and kosher. For over 19 years, this family-run business has continued to come up with the new and exciting flax-based gluten-free products, including their new line of cookies, which come in 6 flavors and in new compostable packaging. For more information on Flax for Life, you can go to flaxforlife.net. Be sure to use our coupon code THEPULSE to save 15% off one purchase order. On today's episode, we start our show in studio with our real estate expert, Bridget Potterton from Bridge Coast Realty, who is talking about all the newest real estate trends and giving viewers tips on buying and selling homes during the pandemic. We're then on location at Vignettes Decor, an antique store in Ocean Beach that we just cannot get enough of. We show you why they have been a staple in San Diego for over 20 years. We end our show with Jamie E. Wright, a crisis consultant and attorney, who will be educating our viewers on travel advice during the pandemic and renters' rights. She tells us all we need to know from a legal standpoint. We all know that real estate market in San Diego is on fire, and there are different ways to buy and sell your home during the pandemic. We welcome back our real estate expert, Bridget Potterton from Bridge Coast Realty, to talk about all the newest trends in real estate and what you need to know when buying or selling a home. Check this out. I love my guest, Bridget Potterton from Bridge Coast Realty. She has been on the show before. She's such a resource, and she's our real estate expert, so welcome back.
Thank you for having me, Cindy.
She was one of the top 10 individuals in 2020 for Keller Williams San Diego Metro and top 1% of the county in production. So congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you.
I'm so excited right now because I know the market in real estate is so hot. There's so much going on right now. Let's talk about that. I know like homes are selling in like 5 days.
Or less.
What's going on with the market?
It is just so crazy. You know, what's happening is that we're seeing more and more buyers get into the market because the rates are so low right now. And what we're seeing is sellers are either not selling for lots of different reasons. Maybe they're hesitant because of COVID, or they're nervous because if I sell my house, where do I go? Am I going to be able to afford a house? And there's just a lot of anxiety on seller side. And then I think a lot of them might also just be waiting to see if the market keeps going up and up and up. So you have a lot of reasons why we have low inventory and a lot of buyers.
Well, and we have some slides that we're going to show with active houses.
So active homes on the market. So that is anything that is available on the market for you to look at right now. So active homes on the market. So a normal market is 10,000.
10,000.
Normal. We haven't had a normal market in a really long time. 8 to 10,000. This past week, we hit 1,900. Yeah. It is insanely low. So when you hear the news and the media talk about it, they don't always talk about the numbers. And I think that's the most critical part is the market. We could have 4 times the inventory come on the market today and there still wouldn't be enough.
That's crazy. Oh my gosh. Okay, so what about the absorption rates?
Okay, so you're probably asking what the heck is an absorption rate? So really what it means is if you have, let's say 100 homes on the market right now, what percentage of those are going to sell this month? So you look at absorption rate of, okay, what does the market absorb? What do the buyers absorb in the market? So that's what it means. So an absorption rate, for it to be a seller's market, which we are in, needs to be above 20%. In 2019, the market was pretty good. The absorption rate was just under 40%. Okay, in 2020, last year, the market, as you know, got really crazy. The number was just under 60%, which is very high. As of this month, the absorption rate is just over 71%.
Well, and don't you think it's because people have spent so much time in their home that they're like, I need a new home. I can't live in this home anymore.
Well,
right?
Yeah. So you have a lot of buyers with COVID that are realizing that they don't like their current living situation. And so you have a lot of people wanting to make the move. So you have buyers wanting to get their first place. You have a lot of people moving in areas where they can get more square footage. And as a result, there's more buyers on the market. And then the interest rates.
Well, yeah, we got to talk about that. They are low.
They are so low. How low, you might want to know. Now, of course, it's going to depend on the type of loan you're getting, your credit score, your income, the percentage that you're putting down. There's so many factors. But I just got to have a client, and they got 2.625, which is insanely low. And then I've got FHA borrowers and conventional buyers who are putting down 5, 10, 15, 20% down, and they're getting about 2.75. And then you have some kind of the higher end loans that are usually around 3%. So they're still insanely low.
So let's talk about buying or selling during a pandemic, because obviously people are like, how do you do it? How's it working? Let's touch on that a little bit.
So right now, it is a hard time to be a buyer or really a seller, because you have sellers who are nervous about, okay, what do I need to do? Maybe I don't want a contractor to come in and remodel before I sell. So there's all those kinds of conversations you have to have with your client to figure out what's the right thing to do. But the reality is right now you can pretty much sell a home in any condition and you'll get it sold.
Wow.
Yeah, it's crazy. I've never quite seen a market like this, and it just seems to continue to get harder and harder for buyers.
Are people staging homes still?
Somewhat, yeah. So I do staging. I'm actually one of a handful of brokers in the county that's an accredited staging professional. I do stage some of my listings, but also what I'm doing, and I'm not seeing a lot of people doing it for some reason, I'm not sure why, is virtually staging.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Yeah, so if you don't know what virtual staging is, it's really when you take a professional photo that I hire a company to do, and then I take those and I pick some things to go into the photo, so they stage the photo instead of the house.
I've never heard of that. One of the things that sets you apart, I love it.
You have to get creative these days to help out your clients. I am doing 3D virtual walkthroughs for all my listings. So anytime, it doesn't matter the price point, I will hire a company to come in and do 3D walkthrough tours. So what that means is at the click of a button, all you have to do is use your mouse or on your phone, you just click, 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 and you can move around each room 360 degrees and walk through the property on your phone as if you're right there. So it gives you a good idea of the layout that photos just can't do.
But you still will do a showing, but safely.
Yeah, so we do showings. Everybody who comes in a property is required to sign a coronavirus contract saying that they haven't contracted or been in contact with somebody. The other thing that we're doing a lot is requiring masks. We have booties at all of our listings and properties, sanitizer, gloves. We're doing everything we can to keep our clients safe during this time.
I love that. It's so important too, because you want people to feel comfortable. You have such a personalized service and a touch that you give to your clients. I love that about you, and it's so great. When it wasn't COVID, you'd be like dropping off stuff at my door.
Well, I definitely have a philosophy of relationships are everything. Clients are not a transaction.
Okay, so the other thing I want to talk about, which really I think is unique to you, is that you are a certified real estate divorce specialist. What does that mean?
So actually, as of recently, I am the only broker in California that is not only a real estate divorce specialist, but also a certified divorce real estate expert. So I have multiple designations in the divorce field. I hesitantly got this designation, and it wasn't something I wanted. I love my happy clients to give cookies and candy and spoil. So it was the exact opposite of everything I knew. So I started working with family law attorneys. I do things quite differently in a transaction. Everything is sort of backwards from a traditional sale, just to protect the clients. There's so many intricacies that are involved in a divorce that can affect the sale that actually have nothing to do with the house.
Well, and you have some great blogs on your website. I know one of them recently was how to sell or retain a home during a divorce. So maybe you could say, I know you work with family law attorneys, but what would you give some tips on, right? There's a few different things that go with that.
So the first thing is to decide if you actually want to keep your home. So a lot of people, there may be some emotional attachment to the home, and so they think, okay, well, I'll just, one of us will hold on to the property. But the reality is you really need a professional, like a certified divorce financial analyst, who can come in and really help you with the numbers, because there's a lot of tax reasons why things are not always equal.
Okay, so before we go with you, I want to find out what's the best way for people to contact you. If they want to consult, they want to work with you, what should they do?
You can come on my website, www.comehometosandiego.com. You can also find me on Instagram at Broker Bridget. You can find me on Bridge Coast Realty on Facebook, or you can just call me at 858-257-1555.
You're such a great resource. Thanks for my goodies. And you guys contact her. She's amazing.
Thank you so much, Cindy, for having me. I had so much fun.
For more information on Bridget and to contact her, you can go to comehometosandiego.com. Don't touch that remote, because when we come back, we're on location at Vignettes Decor. Welcome back to The Pulse. I'm your host, Cindy Mattalucci. Okay, so you know how much I love Vignettes Decor in Ocean Beach. I've been personally shopping there for over 20 years. We bring you inside and we show you just how fabulous they are. Hey everybody, it's Cindy Mattalucci, your host of The Pulse. I'm here in Ocean Beach at one of my favorite places, Vignettes Decor. This place has been here for over 20 years. I have personally been shopping here for over 20 years, and I want to take you inside and show you why this place is so fabulous and why they have something for everyone. Are you ready? Let's do it. So Lori Chandler, who's the owner, who's been curating everything in here for 20 years and making it fabulous, was inspired by her mom, Mary. She inspired her, instead of taking, Spanish, she said, take French. And she just really influenced her to travel. She called her Lorette, her French name, since she was in 7th grade. So I really, really love the story. And you can tell there's just a piece of Mary here. And Lori, everybody that comes in here knows and loves Lori. So I want to show you everything that they have today, and let's take a look, and I'll probably be leaving with lots of items. One of the things that they're known for here is the way that they stage everything. It's amazing, you guys. From the window displays to all the displays that they have, they curate all the items, and it's staged like something you've never seen. Check this out. Okay, you guys, you know I love chandeliers. Obsessed. Can we talk about this collection of chandeliers? It's like Disneyland. They have something for everyone, whether it's French, bohemian, rustic, modern, or mid-century decor, they've got you covered. Check out this room.
This had a built-in stereo, but the stereo is trashed.
Oh my
It'll
gosh.
drop down for bottle storage. And then up top, press a button, and this will automatically start opening up as the bar comes up.
And you guys, Matt curates everything in here and puts everything together. So it's absolutely amazing. You have to come in. He's always got something new. I mean, from the telephones to what we just showed you here. It's almost like mad scientist, which is what he was saying. We love it. I mean, everyone needs a voodoo tiki bar. You know, I've had Tina on my show before, and I'm so excited about the loft. This is the new place for you.
Yes, I'm super excited about it.
I'm moving in. I mean, this decor.
Please do.
Talk about this project.
I have been at Vignettes since 2000, and this space was always occupied by somebody else. And when this came up, I was super excited to move in because I personally have always wanted to live in a loft. It's definitely the epitome of Vignettes, especially what Vignettes started out as, very French, very pink, very pretty. I shopped up and down the California coast, pulled pieces that I thought would fit perfectly, and I'm really excited how it turned out.
And everything, you guys, is for sale in here. So it's like absolutely amazing. And you're curating and putting it all together and doing the design. And
it's nice to do a mix and to not get kind of focused on one particular, style specifically. So the leopard is a good example of that.
Well, and if we look at these panels too, these are one of a kind, this wall art.
That actually came together. It was a divider, a room divider, and I took it apart and put it up on the wall, and I just thought it was perfect because the height of the ceilings, and it's very dramatic. I just love the way it turned out.
You guys do your Instagram live show on Mondays at 11, right?
Yes, every Monday at 11, you can tune in. We're usually on for about an hour, and we tour the whole shop. It's really nice because people get to shop through the store, but they don't physically have to be here.
It's fabulous. Every time I'm like, how much is this? I want this. And a lot of times things are sold quickly.
Yeah, they do.
Because people see it right away. So tune into their Instagram live show at Vignettes Decor on Instagram.
Yes.
Okay, you guys, so one of the things I love is the vintage jewelry that they have here. It makes me salivate every time I see it. I want it. So this is vintage Weiss?
Correct. Yeah, this is a vintage Weiss set. You have the bracelet, the necklace, and the clip-on earrings. And this is in the pink ice. And it's really a beautiful set because it's got the little pave hearts in there. And this is actually a little bit rare, a little harder to find because it is all 3 pieces. So I only have one of these, I didn't get a bunch of them.
And I love you guys because I don't have my ears pierced. So I love that they have great clip earrings and they're really, really nice. So, but you have a combination. I mean, they have regular earrings, but they always have a great selection of clip earrings. So anybody out there, come check it out. Okay, so you cannot get out of here without shopping. So I found the perfect thing for my new office. I love Chanel, I love bling, I love butterflies. It's all at Vignettes, I'm telling you, something for everyone, so come down and see them on Newport Avenue in Ocean Beach. We'll see you next time when I put my finger on the pulse of San Diego. For more information on vignettes, you can go to vignettesdecor.com or stop in and see them at 4828 Newport Avenue. With COVID-19 and our economy opening up again, people are starting to travel. What legal ramifications does this have for us? It's a good thing we've got some great legal advice from attorney Jamie E. Wright. She tells us what we need to know about travel. Check this out. I have crisis consultant and attorney Jamie E. Wright. How are you?
Doing so well, thank you so much. How are you?
I'm hanging in there for a Friday. I'm so happy that you're here because there's so much going on. I'm so excited to have you. So you are a highly sought after millennial lawyer and crisis communicator from Los Angeles. I mean, you've just done so much. You've been on so many shows, giving legal advice, insight on the law. So I know we're going to talk a little bit today about the law, right? Because it's changed and there's a lot of legalities for small businesses.
Right. In an age of COVID, I kind of want to just hit on 3 points. And so the first one is, I want my small business owners to have a leave plan. Because consult counsel that can explain to you the differences in the paid leave in the state and federal. Err on the side of giving your employees the leave of absence, because what you don't want to happen is you end up with a disability discrimination lawsuit because someone says, I can't come into the workplace because of exposure and or because I have a psychological concern about being exposed, because that could be considered a disability under the ADA. And a disability simply means any mental or physical ailment that impacts a major life activity. The other thing that I tell my small businesses is that the law as of January 1 of this year changed. You have an affirmative duty to explain to your employees and contractors that there has been a COVID outbreak in your facility. If you don't, then you can be exposed to OSHA liability and suffer stiff penalties. The very last thing that I recommend is that offer work from home. If you have the ability to, give your employees the option to work from home. Unless you consider them, or they're somehow considered, a necessary worker, which in a lot of spaces they're not. If it's work that can be done from home, definitely do that. Also have a transition plan available for what you're going to do in case there is a COVID outbreak in your facility, a cleaning plan, a notification plan, and work with your HR team to put those things in place.
Do you anticipate this changing even more laws coming out as we go along?
I think what we're going to see is there's going to be a lot more lawsuits around reimbursement of expenses under the labor code. So I think there will be some changes surrounding those areas, yes.
Okay, I want to talk about a hot topic. I feel like travel right now, we're opening up, people are traveling more, but there's a lot of, legalities with travel. Can you educate us a little bit on this?
Sure. So, back to my small business folks again, be mindful if you're sending somebody to travel. If they become ill or they get sick and they get sick at the direction of the employer, then you and some employment claims as well. Say you have a 60-year-old employee, right? Okay, my 60 plus employee cannot travel and I'm good intentioned. I just want to keep you safe. Boom, you're hit with a discrimination lawsuit based on age because you're restricting them from doing the duties of their job and prohibiting them from travel solely based on age, even if you're good intentioned. So be mindful of that. However, for those of us who are just lay people who are travel, consider that if you do become ill while traveling and you understand that there are higher risks in some cities and some states and some areas, there's a doctrine called the assumption of risk. So you may just be assuming the risk if you already know what the numbers are.
So it's almost like travel at your own risk in a way, right?
It is travel at your own risk.
Well, it's so scary. there's going to be so many things. I know they're talking about internationally, there might be requiring the COVID test, right? And the mask requirements. Can we talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, so the CDC does require testing for entry and exit for all those who are international. I know the state of Hawaii requires you to present a COVID test that is valid for 72 hours prior to you traveling into their state. For those who are coming in and out of the country, definitely testing requirements for masks 6 feet apart. You also have a free seat in between you. From you and the other passenger, and you do have to wear your mask at all times. I know now that they're recommending double masking. I don't know how many people are actually double masking, but it may be enforced as you travel.
Well, yeah, and it's scary because there's so many different strains now. We don't know, we're kind of trying to figure it all out. It's something new every day.
Yeah, there's the UK strain. Now there's a South African strain. And I know here in Southern California, they're saying, we have 2 cases of the South African strain. Oh, but by the way, none of these people travel to South Africa that have the strain. So, the science around it, we're not so clear on, and it seems to be evolving a little bit by the day. But you just be mindful when you're traveling of practicing the social distancing, having hand sanitizers, if you have symptoms, stay at home. And now you can, because here's the thing, the travel insurance has changed, which allows you from the date of purchase through your travel, if you become ill and a doctor says you cannot travel, you can be reimbursed for your flight.
Wow.
Now, if you're not sick when you're traveling, you get there and get sick, they won't reimburse you.
Wow, that's good to know. Okay. So what are your tips? What do you recommend for people? when they go to travel? Yes.
Try to avoid traveling to hot spots, right? Hotbeds for COVID. If you are going to travel, depending on how you feel, not everybody is pro-vaccination, and I respect that. The difference is consider the vaccine if it's accessible to you. The other thing is when you go to one of these places, say you're traveling from California to Boston, read their guidelines for what they require for you to travel there. Purchase travel insurance. It is worth the extra money so you can cancel that expensive flight if need be.
Okay, so I have a question for you. What about like Airbnb stuff? Is there anything going on with that?
It is. So I know if you travel, like say to Big Bear, you have to have a reservation way in advance before you come. That's for those who are allowing people to actually stay in their facilities. For the Airbnbs, that's going to be interesting for those who own those places. If you go to the Airbnb, you can prove beforehand you did not have COVID. You go to the Airbnb, then you get sick. I would require, if I was an Airbnb owner, for you to prove to me that you have not been exposed to COVID within 72 hours prior to you coming there. It doesn't take much. You can go to a testing site, and if you have insurance, they'll cover it.
So I want to know, because you're, such an inspiration. How do you do everything? How is it going for you?
It's going well. I will, I'm happy to share. I actually had COVID at the beginning of the year. My son and my husband, neither of them got sick. Mom and dad didn't get sick. No one got sick. I go to a traditional Chinese medicine doctor. So I took, I'm also very healthy. So I take a lot of vitamin D. So after about 7 days, I tested negative. The smell and taste took a while to come back. So how I balanced it during that week is I took the time to engage in a lot of self-care. I pushed all my meetings back. I informed my clients. I said, I'm under quarantine, so I can't do these things. And I have a great support. Who are retired. Now that I'm well, I use the support of a nanny. I balance my schedule really well because I used to be one of these people who worked 80-hour weeks. But in order to have the fullness of life, you just have to take time to take care.
I love that. Oh my gosh, it's so great. Well, you are an inspiration to us. So, okay, so I want to find out, how do people find out about you? If they want to book a consult with you, they want to get legal advice, is it best to go to your website?
Yes, go to my website. It's really easy. Jamie Wright, JamieWrightESQ.com. There's a section where you can go find me on the contact information, and it sends a message through new contact directly to my email. And either myself or my lovely assistant will get back to you within 48 hours. We try to get back to people as quickly as we can.
For more information on Jamie and to book a consult with her, you can go to JamieWrightESQ.com. We'll have all the information on our website. Make sure to follow us on social media at The Pulse SD for all the behind the scenes fun. Any segments you miss, you can go to thepulsesd.com. That's going to do it for today's episode. We'll see you next time when we put our finger on the pulse of San Diego.